China just unveiled a stealth fighter that doesn't just fly missions. It commands entire armies of drones from the sky. The J-36, codenamed Motherbird, can control up to 100 autonomous attack drones simultaneously while remaining completely invisible to radar. This isn't science fiction. Pentagon sources confirm this aircraft represents the biggest shift in air warfare since the invention of the jet engine. And here's what's keeping defense analysts awake at night. China built this technological marvel in complete secrecy, and it's already conducting test flights over the South China Sea. The military landscape just changed forever, and most Americans have no idea what's coming. While our brave servicemen and women continue to defend freedom around the world with courage and honor, a new threat has emerged that could reshape everything we know about modern warfare. The Chengdu J-36 Motherbird isn't just another fighter jet. It's a flying command center that turns the sky into a battlefield controlled by artificial intelligence. This revolutionary aircraft can launch, coordinate, and direct massive swarms of combat drones while striking targets over 2,000 miles away. But here's what makes this even more concerning. China developed this technology while the world was distracted, and they're already preparing for operational deployment. If you believe America's military deserves to know about emerging threats, type "Stay vigilant" in the comments below. Your voice matters, and our forces need informed citizens who understand what they're up against. Today, we're diving deep into classified intelligence, leaked technical specifications, and expert analysis to uncover exactly how China's J-36 Motherbird works and why it's causing emergency meetings at the Pentagon. Section 1. The Discovery. December 26, 2024. A date that will go down in military aviation history. Chinese social media suddenly exploded with videos of an aircraft unlike anything ever seen before. Flying over Chengdu, this massive triangular stealth fighter moved through the sky with an otherworldly silence that sent shockwaves through intelligence communities worldwide. But this wasn't just any test flight. Aviation experts immediately noticed something unprecedented. This aircraft was being followed by what appeared to be a formation of smaller, unmanned drones, moving in perfect coordination. Initial reports suggested these weren't separate aircraft. They were all being controlled by the larger platform in real time. Within hours, satellite imagery confirmed what defense analysts had feared. China had achieved a breakthrough that leapfrogged decades of Western military development. The J-36 Motherbird had successfully demonstrated manned-unmanned teaming on a scale never before witnessed. Dr. Wang Haifeng, the aircraft's chief designer, had published a technical paper just months earlier describing what he called a high-performance fighter capable of penetrating heavily defended airspace while coordinating autonomous systems. The defense community initially dismissed it as theoretical research. They were wrong. The timing wasn't coincidental. December 26th marked the birthday of Mao Zedong, and China chose this symbolic date to announce their technological dominance to the world. But they revealed far more than they intended. Leaked technical documents obtained by defense contractors paint a picture of an aircraft that doesn't just break conventional design rules, it rewrites them entirely. The J-36 measures 75 feet in length with an 80-foot wingspan, making it larger than America's F-22 Raptor. But size isn't what makes this aircraft revolutionary. Hidden within its diamond-shaped tailless design are 3 separate engines using variable cycle technology. This means the J-36 can operate efficiently at low speeds for extended patrol missions, then instantly switch to maximum thrust for supersonic combat operations. No Western aircraft possesses this capability. But the real game changer lies in what you can't see. The J-36's internal bay system can carry up to 10 tons of ordnance, including a new class of weapons that China calls loyal wingman deployment systems. These aren't traditional missiles. They're autonomous drones that can be launched mid-flight, each capable of independent target acquisition and strike operations. And we're just scratching the surface. Wait until you see how China's artificial intelligence breakthrough allows one pilot to control what military experts are calling the deadliest swarm ever created. Before we dive deeper into these classified capabilities, please take a second to like this video and subscribe. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. The technology powering the J-36 Motherbird reads like something from a military science fiction novel, except it's flying over the South China Sea right now. Let's break down exactly how China achieved what many experts believed was impossible. At the heart of this system lies what Chinese engineers call an AI-driven flight control network. Unlike traditional fighter aircraft that require constant pilot input, the J-36 uses artificial intelligence to manage hundreds of flight control surfaces simultaneously. This allows the aircraft to maintain perfect stability without vertical tail fins, a design feature that makes it virtually invisible to radar detection. But the real breakthrough isn't in how it flies, it's in how it thinks. The J-36's central computer system processes information from over 50 different sensors mounted throughout the aircraft. These include advanced radar arrays, infrared targeting systems, electronic warfare sensors, and communication links that can maintain contact with drone swarms over distances exceeding 500 miles. Here's where it gets truly frightening. The system can analyze battlefield conditions, identify high-value targets, and deploy the appropriate drone response, all without human intervention. Pentagon war games suggest that a single J-36 could theoretically coordinate attacks against multiple aircraft carriers simultaneously using nothing but its autonomous drone fleet. The drone deployment system itself represents a revolutionary leap in weapons technology. Each J-36 can carry up to 12 loyal wingman drones in its internal weapons bays. These aren't simple cruise missiles. They're fully autonomous aircraft equipped with their own sensors, weapon systems, and artificial intelligence processors. When deployed, these drones form what military analysts call a distributed lethality network. Each drone can operate independently for up to 8 hours, but they remain connected to the Motherbird through quantum encrypted communication links that are virtually impossible to jam or intercept. The strategic implications are staggering. Traditional air defense systems are designed to track and engage individual aircraft. They're completely unprepared for coordinated attacks by dozens of autonomous drones, each capable of adapting their flight paths in real time based on defensive responses. Intelligence reports suggest that China has already produced at least 6 operational J-36 aircraft, with plans to deploy 24 by the end of 2025. Each aircraft costs approximately $400 million to manufacture, expensive by conventional standards, but remarkably affordable when you consider that a single J-36 provides the combat capability of an entire traditional fighter squadron. But China's ambitions go far beyond just building better fighter aircraft. What they're really developing is a complete transformation of warfare itself, and the implications for American security are more serious than most people realize. Section 3. Strategic Implications and the Taiwan Scenario. Military strategists at the Pentagon have identified the J-36 Motherbird as what they're calling a paradigm-shifting weapon system. This isn't military jargon. It's a recognition that the fundamental nature of air combat has changed overnight. Consider this scenario: Taiwan Strait, 2026. Intelligence suggests China is positioning J-36 aircraft at military bases less than 200 miles from Taiwan's eastern coastline. Each aircraft can deploy its drone swarms while remaining safely within Chinese airspace, protected by their own air defense networks. These autonomous drones can then cross the strait, overwhelm Taiwanese radar systems, and begin coordinated attacks against critical infrastructure, all while their motherbird controllers remain completely undetected. By the time defensive forces respond, the drones have already completed their missions and self-destructed to avoid capture. This represents what military experts call standoff warfare, the ability to project devastating force without risking your most valuable assets. The J-36 can strike targets over 2,000 miles away without ever entering hostile airspace. But the implications extend far beyond regional conflicts. U.S. Navy carrier strike groups, the backbone of American force projection for over 80 years, suddenly face a threat they weren't designed to counter. A single J-36 operating from Chinese territory could potentially coordinate drone attacks against multiple ships simultaneously, saturating defensive systems that excel at stopping traditional missiles but struggle with adaptive, intelligent threats. Admiral John Richardson, former Chief of Naval Operations, recently testified before Congress that swarm warfare represents the most significant challenge to naval operations since the invention of the aircraft carrier. The J-36 Motherbird turns that theoretical challenge into operational reality. The economic implications are equally concerning. Each J-36 drone costs approximately $2 million to manufacture, while the defensive missiles required to intercept them cost between $3 and $5 million each. Basic mathematics suggests that China can produce attacking drones faster and cheaper than America can build defensive countermeasures. Intelligence analysts believe China is already developing what they call second-generation motherbird technology. These upgraded systems would reportedly be capable of controlling up to 200 drones simultaneously while incorporating advanced electronic warfare capabilities designed specifically to counter American defensive systems. Perhaps most troubling is the psychological impact this technology could have on conflict decision-making. Traditional military planning relies on calculating acceptable losses and mission success probabilities. The J-36 changes that equation entirely by offering China the ability to conduct devastating attacks with minimal risk to their own forces. This asymmetric advantage could encourage more aggressive Chinese behavior in territorial disputes, knowing that their new technology provides options for escalation that don't exist for opposing forces. The result could be regional instability as allies and adversaries alike scramble to develop countermeasures to this new threat. However, American ingenuity and our outstanding military-industrial complex aren't standing idle. The response that's currently being developed might surprise you, and it shows exactly why our armed forces remain the most innovative fighting force in history. Section 4. The American Response. The United States military didn't earn its reputation as the world's most advanced fighting force by backing down from technological challenges. Even as China celebrated their J-36 breakthrough, American defense contractors and military researchers were already developing countermeasures that showcase the innovative spirit that has kept our nation safe for generations. At Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, the 96th Test Wing has been conducting classified trials of what they're calling Loyal Wingman Defensive Networks. These systems use artificial intelligence to coordinate defensive responses specifically designed to counter swarm attacks. Early results suggest that American defensive AI can actually outperform Chinese offensive swarms in simulated combat scenarios. The secret lies in something uniquely American: adaptability. While Chinese systems rely on pre-programmed responses and centralized control, American defensive networks use distributed decision-making that mirrors the initiative and independence our military has always valued in its personnel. General Charles Brown, Air Force Chief of Staff, recently announced the acceleration of the Collaborative Combat Aircraft Program, America's answer to China's drone swarm technology. These systems won't just match Chinese capabilities, they'll exceed them by incorporating lessons learned from decades of combat experience that China simply doesn't possess. American defense contractors are developing what industry insiders call hunter-killer drones, specifically designed to target motherbird aircraft. These systems use advanced stealth technology and artificial intelligence to penetrate enemy airspace, locate command aircraft like the J-36, and eliminate them before they can deploy their drone swarms. The USS Gerald R. Ford, America's newest aircraft carrier, has been equipped with experimental laser defense systems capable of engaging dozens of targets simultaneously. These directed energy weapons can destroy attacking drones at a fraction of the cost of traditional missiles, effectively neutralizing China's economic advantage in swarm warfare. But perhaps most importantly, American forces are developing something China cannot replicate: human AI teaming that combines the best of both worlds. While Chinese systems rely entirely on artificial intelligence, American pilots work alongside AI systems that enhance their natural abilities without replacing human judgment and creativity. This approach reflects fundamental differences in military philosophy. China's People's Liberation Army emphasizes centralized control and standardized responses. The American military has always valued individual initiative, adaptive thinking, and mission-focused decision-making. These human qualities become force multipliers when combined with artificial intelligence. The Pentagon has also accelerated development of next-generation electronic warfare systems specifically designed to disrupt the communication links between motherbird aircraft and their drone swarms. By severing these connections, American forces can render entire swarm attacks ineffective, while forcing Chinese pilots to operate their aircraft manually, negating many of their technological advantages. Training programs at Nellis Air Force Base now include realistic scenarios where American pilots face simulated swarm attacks using the latest intelligence about J-36 capabilities. These exercises have already identified tactical approaches that can neutralize motherbird advantages while playing to traditional American strengths in air-to-air combat. The technological arms race is intensifying rapidly, but there's one aspect of this story that reveals just how serious this threat has become, and why every American should understand what's at stake. Section 5. The broader implications. The emergence of China's J-36 motherbird represents more than just a new weapon system. It signals a fundamental shift in global military balance that could reshape international relations for decades to come. Understanding these broader implications helps explain why this development has captured the attention of military leaders worldwide. For the first time since World War II, a potential adversary has developed a military technology that provides genuine strategic advantages over American forces. This isn't about matching American capabilities, it's about surpassing them in ways that could fundamentally alter how conflicts are fought and won. The proliferation potential of this technology presents long-term concerns that extend far beyond the U.S.-China relationship. If China begins exporting J-36 technology or similar systems to allied nations, regional military balances could shift dramatically. Countries that previously relied on American security guarantees might suddenly possess independent capabilities that reduce their dependence on U.S. protection. Intelligence analysts warn that successful deployment of motherbird technology could encourage other nations to pursue similar asymmetric warfare capabilities. Iran, North Korea, and Russia are all believed to be studying Chinese developments with interest, potentially leading to a global proliferation of swarm warfare systems within the next decade. The economic implications reach beyond defense spending into broader questions about American technological competitiveness. China's success with the J-36 demonstrates advances in artificial intelligence, manufacturing precision, and systems integration that have applications throughout the civilian economy. This suggests that military competition is increasingly inseparable from broader technological and economic competition. Perhaps most significantly, the J-36 Motherbird challenges fundamental assumptions about deterrence that have maintained global stability since the Cold War. Traditional deterrence relies on the certainty that aggressive actions will result in unacceptable losses for the aggressor. Swarm warfare potentially allows nations to conduct devastating attacks while minimizing their own risk exposure. This could lead to what strategists call deterrence failure, situations where the calculations that previously prevented conflicts no longer apply. If China believes it can achieve military objectives against Taiwan or other regional targets without risking unacceptable losses, the likelihood of conflict increases significantly. The J-36 also represents China's broader strategy of leapfrog development, skipping intermediate technological stages to achieve direct competition with advanced Western systems. Rather than gradually improving existing fighter aircraft designs, China invested in revolutionary technology that could potentially make entire classes of Western military equipment obsolete. This approach reflects China's long-term strategic planning and willingness to invest in high-risk, high-reward military technologies. It also demonstrates their understanding that traditional approaches to military competition would leave them permanently behind American capabilities, making breakthrough technologies their only path to strategic parity. For American allies in the Indo-Pacific region, the J-36 Motherbird creates immediate security concerns that could influence their strategic alignment. Countries like Japan, South Korea, and Australia must now consider whether their existing defense relationships provide adequate protection against this new class of threats. The response to these concerns could either strengthen alliance relationships as allies increase cooperation to develop countermeasures, or weaken them if countries decide that accommodation with China offers better security than continued alignment with the United States. As we wrap up this analysis, there's one crucial point that every American should understand about what this means for our future security, and why the response of our outstanding military leadership gives us reason for both concern and confidence. Conclusion and final thoughts. The emergence of China's J-36 Motherbird marks a pivotal moment in military history, comparable to the introduction of radar, guided missiles, or stealth technology. Like those previous innovations, swarm warfare will likely define the next generation of military competition and strategic planning. However, history also teaches us that technological advantages are temporary. American forces have consistently demonstrated the ability to adapt, overcome, and ultimately exceed the capabilities of potential adversaries. This tradition of innovation, combined with the courage and skill of our service members, provides the foundation for maintaining American security in an evolving threat environment. The J-36 Motherbird should serve as a wake-up call about the rapidly changing nature of military competition. China's willingness to invest in revolutionary technologies while the United States was focused on counterinsurgency operations demonstrates the importance of maintaining technological vigilance across all domains of warfare. But it also highlights the continued importance of American military excellence, alliance relationships, and the industrial base that supports our national defense. The response to China's swarm warfare capabilities will likely produce innovations that strengthen American security for decades to come. Most importantly, the J-36 reminds us that the freedom and security Americans enjoy depends on the continued dedication of our military personnel and the support of citizens who understand the challenges they face. Our service members deserve the best equipment, training, and support we can provide as they adapt to meet emerging threats. The story of China's mother bird is still being written, but one thing remains certain. American ingenuity, combined with the professionalism and courage of our armed forces, will meet this challenge just as we've met every previous threat to our national security. The military landscape continues evolving at an unprecedented pace, with new technologies and threats emerging regularly. Understanding these developments helps us appreciate the complex challenges our service members face and the importance of maintaining America's technological edge. If this analysis helped you understand the significance of China's J-36 mother bird, consider subscribing for more in-depth coverage of military developments that affect American security. Your engagement helps us continue providing the detailed analysis that keeps our community informed about the threats and innovations shaping our military's future. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember that our freedom depends on citizens who understand the challenges facing those who serve to protect it.